Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you guys can know when I upload. Today I look ugly. Oh, but Tuesday she's gonna be beautiful. Okay? Okay. I've been having insomnia for like the past 2 weeks or so that's why I look kind of extra ugly today than on other days. But we're gonna look past that. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. I've been thinking about it mentally to see, I want to say the right things in this video. I want to make sure that when I talk to you guys about this story, I want you guys to feel the emotion with me that I felt. I want you guys to experience everything that I basically felt. Please ignore the noise in the background. There's a fan. I'm outside. There's a fan out here. If you're not from the South, then the ones who get it, get it. The ones who don't. Okay. So, yeah. As you guys can tell by the title, you know what story time I'm getting into today. I've been promising this video for a while, and I've been putting it off because I've been wanting the right setting, the right timing. I wanted everything to be right. I just got my phone out the shop. It's been in there for like a day or two because I had broke my phone and I needed to get it fixed. So I just been looking for the right time. I don't really have privacy being a parent and everything. So it's like you don't really have time to yourself. So you work with what the time that you have. So let's get right into the video. Okay. So my adoption story. This is about my daughter, and we're gonna get into it. So I would say back in 2020, or was it 2021? My timing is off. Back in 2020, I was dating this guy. I met him online, and we started talking, and just when me and him started texting, it's like when we've been texting, like when we started texting, we just automatically clicked. Like something just was right. And I don't get that often when I talk to guys. So when I do get it, it connects me to them quicker. So when me and him started talking, I felt comfortable. And we're gonna name him A. So me and A started texting, and I automatically felt comfortable talking to him. And so we went from texting each other to talking to each other on Messenger. And he told me that he was in this halfway house. Well, no, not a halfway house. It was a work release program. He was in his work release program down south, and he was telling me about, why he ended up in jail and how long he was in jail for. And he was working towards being released. So we talked every day. We talked on the phone all night. We used to fall asleep on the phone together. We would wake up talking to each other. We would text, when he's able to, because he had to have classes in between or whatever. So I fall fast. Like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, when I feel comfortable with somebody and they accept me for who I am, me being a big girl and all of that, and being okay with it, something automatically draws me to that person, and when I'm drawn close to you, I want to talk to you every day. I want to be around you every day, every hour, on the hour. So I didn't care about him being in a work release program. I didn't care about him being incarcerated, because to me that was the old him. Because the person that he showed me, a different. Showed me a different side of him. He showed me a softer, goofy, funny side. He was very sweet. He used to encourage me all the time. Like, he just made me feel attractive. And I don't get that often. So it was a breath of fresh air with A. So it would be times where A would work all day, and then he would have to come home and clean up, and then he would have to go to these classes. So sometimes I would stay on the phone with him during the classes until it's time for him to come home. And other times he wouldn't. Like, A never asked me for money, but he needed a phone. And he was like, he was going to ask females. I should have saw that as a red flag. But he was like, he would ask females, for money, or like he would try to trick them into him getting a phone. So I told him, no, I don't want you to do that. I'll send you money so you can be able to get a phone so we could talk. So I sent him the money, whatever. He was, at first he didn't, he didn't want to accept it or whatever. But I was like, no, I want you to take it, because I cannot not talk to you every day. That just was not going to work for me. So I sent him the money. He so claimed went and got a phone or whatever, and boom, we was talking and stuff. So this went on for about, I met him in April of 2019, and we was talking all the way up until this one day. I'm not good with dates, y'all. I'm not good with the dates. But I can tell you that we was talking all for a long time. I would say about 2 years. But back in 2019, I think it was, he was in this accident at his job where he injured his hand. And so he was talking to his attorneys or lawyers or whatever, and talking to a judge, and one thing led to another. He was able to come home early, be released early, because he was supposed to be released, I think, that following year or so. But he ended up was being able to get released that day. So he came home tomorrow. He came home early. I stayed up all night with him on the phone and texting him because I wanted to make sure he was okay. I sent him gas. Well, I sent him money so he could. Y'all, is bats out here and I don't like that. But I sent him money for the person to get gas so he could come home. I had the whole weekend planned for us. He came home, I think it was that Friday, so I immediately was getting my weekend set up so I could spend the weekend with him. And he came home that morning. When he came home, he came to see me. He came to my house and we spent some time together. And after that, he ended up leaving because he went to his cousin's house. He went somewhere, so he says. He went somewhere. And so, y'all, this is all coming in together. It might be in parts because I don't want to upload a long video. But he ended up coming home. He came to see me that day, and we were supposed to link up that night for the rest of the weekend. Well, I was texting him. He said he was out with his homies or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And then pretty much after that, I stopped hearing from him. So that whole weekend, I was stressed out because I really wanted to see him. And I really, really wanted us to spend time together. So I didn't hear from him. I was at one of my best friend's house, and we was all going to be over there, and it was going to be like a couples thing, like where we was going to spend the night with each other, like a big sleepover, but it was for couples, My friend, of course, was coupled with her dude, and then there was me. the third wheel by myself because I wanted to be with him. And so came home and I didn't hear from him. And then I was calling, I was blowing his phone up. I was texting him, I was calling him, like I was like, dude, like, where are you? Why you not answering the phone? I had everything planned. And then this girl texted me and was like, why you texting my man? He with me and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, since he want to be with you, tell him to give me that phone back because I paid for that. And this, that, and third. I didn't get, like, she talked to me on the phone. She was like, what's your name? And all this, that, and the third. And basically saying that was her nigga and all that third. Excuse my language. But that's what she was saying. She was like, that's her nigga, this, that, and third. And da-da-da-da. I'm like, hey, like, what's going on? So that really hurt me. Like, it sent me into a deep, like, depression. Like, my feelings was hurt. I didn't understand what was going on. And so all of a sudden, I had got a message, I think that Monday or so, or whatever. And I got a message Monday, and it was Ace saying that, oh, he had sex with two or three girls that same night after he left my house, and all this thing. Like, he basically was telling me he had sex with all these different girls in that one day, and he's sorry. Well, I can't remember if he said he's sorry. I just know basically he was like, I effed up and this is what I did. And to me, it felt unapologetic. Like, it felt like he didn't care, and it felt like he didn't care about me. And that really, like, sent me into a spiraling depression. Me and my so-called best friend, I ended up holding that against her and not really talking to her no more because she expected me to just hop out of it and get over it and be okay. That's not how I operate when I'm really in love with somebody, and she should know that for a fact because she is the same way over guys. So all she would talk about is her dude, and I would always be there for her. But when I need her to be there for me, she didn't want to be there for me because she so-called seeing her best friend die, and she didn't want to see that happen to me. But my thing is, if you didn't want to see that happen to me, why would you just be like, well, I'm just finna keep my distance from you because I don't want to see you go through that. That's not a friend, y'all. But anyway, back to the story. So after he told me that, I was really messed up about it, I talked to him. I think I called him on Messenger, and he was just sitting there like he really didn't care. Like, he just was watching me cry and freaking like die on the inside. He was just, yeah, it's okay, get it out. I know it hurt. But never once did he apologize. And that really messed me up. Like, no, I got the story wrong. I didn't hear from him for months. Yeah, that's what it was. Like, he went missing from the day he came to my house and I seen him to he went freaking missing. Like, I didn't hear from him for like 2 or 3 months or so. And I really was like hurting. And like, he messaged my friend out of the blue and was like, how's she doing? And I just want to know if she okay and all this, that, and the third. And like, bro, no, I'm not okay. Like, you was becoming my best friend, my diary. He was becoming basically everything that I wanted in one. He was the type of guy that I was looking for in all these other guys. And he was everything that I wanted wrapped up in one, except for he was just mentally messed up. Because the reason why he was in jail for so long, he was in jail for like 3 or 4 years, I believe. And he was in jail because he so-called kidnapped a girl and had a gun. And he had held her hostage, and I don't know, other stuff like that. He really didn't go into detail with me about the situation. Like, he explained it to me, but I didn't really go into depth with it. I really feel like he got mommy issues, because it's like and A is in jail again. He was out, and then he ended up going back to jail for the R word. Well, I ain't monetized yet. He went to jail for rape. He raped either a 13-year-old girl or an old woman. I don't know which one is which. Is it raining down the street? But I don't know which one is which, but I just know that he went to jail for second-degree rape. Yeah. So, moving on. I didn't hear from him for a couple months, and he asked my friend how I was doing or whatever. And I'm like, dude, why you just won't message me? What is it about me? Why are you avoiding me? You know what I'm saying? Like, up until that time, we never had no type of intercourse or anything sexual. I was just, when he came, I kissed him. But other than that, like, we didn't do anything sexually or anything like that. So, yeah, I was really messed up. I was hurt. Like, I was crying. I was laying in the dark. It got so bad. Like, when I finally did talk to him on the phone, I was ready to end it all, because, like, it's like he wasn't seeing my pain, and it's like he didn't care. And I loved that dude. Like, I fell in love with A, and I still love A to this day. And I don't know why I do, but I'm still in love with that boy. I really am. And I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all, because y'all my family. He was younger than me. He's younger than me. When I met A, I think A was like 21 or 22 at the time. So, and I'm 29. So at that time, I believe I was like 25, 24. I can't remember. But he was younger than me, and I didn't care. Like, he was actually the first young dude that I ever messed with. So basically, I finally talked to him on the phone. I was crying and everything. I was really messed up over him, and I was so messed up. In the middle of this time, it was the summertime. It was like June. And so every weekend, I was out drinking, I was smoking, I was partying, I was sleeping with different guys. And this one particular night, we're going to get a little X-rated. So if any of my young viewers on here, I'm going to need y'all to click off, because we're about to get X-rated up in here. And I'm not about to be responsible for y'all knowing what the bird, the bees, and the flowers and the trees is. So, yeah, we about to get into it. So, you guys, I ended up, one of the old fling of mine came back around, because I didn't hear from him for a while, and he was really disrespectful to me. Like, he treated me like dirt. He treated me the opposite of what A treated me like, even though A played me. But he really treated me way worse. Like, he treated me like I was disgusting. And I knew that I wasn't the type of girl that he go for, which is a big girl. I ain't got no behind. I ain't got no butt. I got big boobs. And that's about it. But other than that, I didn't have much to offer him visually, I guess. So I guess that's why he treated me like dirt. But the thing is, I'm going to call him N. So N came into my inbox. He talked to me first. And then when I'm going to tell y'all about this so-called best friend too. That's going to be another story time. But I showed my so-called best friend him. I'm going to call her V. So I showed V who the guy was, and she ended up sending him a friend request, and he bounced in her inbox. So he went from, and this is the thing that I don't get with N. and say that I'm not his type, but he went for a girl way ugly. I'm not even gonna do that. We not shaming people on this channel, but I'm just saying like she was way more, you know, unattractive than I was. I'm just keeping it real with y'all family. But you guys, anyway, so he hopped in her inbox and he went from me to her, and well, that's another story time. But basically, the fling that I had with him was over a long time ago. He came back in my inbox about a year later and he was like, I'm sorry, I need y'all. And basically, me and my best friend, he was like, I need y'all back and all this, that, and the third. Can I come see you? Or whatever. And that night, we was getting ready for a party. It was her ex-boyfriend's party, but it was her boyfriend at the time. So we was getting ready for his party or whatever. We was going out getting the alcohol and the everything that we needed. And that's when he inboxed me. And so when he inboxed me, whatever, I was like, you know what, yeah. I mean, I was like, it's all good, yeah. At first I was like, no. But then I was like, he was begging. He was like, please, I just need to see you. I was like, all right, cool. Well, come through V House. No, we're going to be having a party or whatever. Y'all could slide through. He was like, can I bring my homeboy? And it was weird how he said, he was like, and he fine too or whatever. And I was like, wait, he fine too. And I was like, let me see a picture of him. And he showed me a picture. And we're going to call him, we're going to call the homeboy D. So he showed me D picture or whatever. And I was like, okay, he cute. Yeah, bring your homeboy. And I was like, but B is in a relationship now, and she's not gonna mess with y'all. And he was like, okay, cool, whatever, that's fine. So the party was over and they ended up sliding through. After the party was over, everybody was ended up leaving, and B and her dude was finna go in their rooms or whatever. So it was late. At this party, we was passing out pills. We were passing out pills. We had alcohol. We had edibles. We had weed. We had all type of party favors for adults. Okay, and I was partaking in everything because, like I said, I was messed up mentally. I did anything in my power to get him out of my head. So meanwhile, while A was missing the action and I was missing him, my old fling Ian came along with his homeboy D to the party, and he asked me if his homeboy D could join me and Ian, and I accepted. I can't blame it on anything but the alcohol and other things. But like I said, I agreed, and I ended up doing it with both of them at that night. I'm just being transparent with y'all because, like I said, y'all my family, so I have to be real with y'all when I speak. So yeah, that's what happened that night, and I'm not ashamed of it because I actually enjoyed it. Just being real with y'all, fam. If my real family on here, y'all need to get off my channel, cause this is what we do over here. We keep it real. So anyway, like I said, we ended up doing that or whatever, and they left. And I kind of was feeling D. Like I really like D vibe. He was when I first met him, he was chill. Like he didn't force himself. He was just like, yeah, I don't like bugs, especially the flying bugs kind. But D didn't force himself on me. He wasn't disrespectful, and he wasn't like his homeboy Ian. He used to tell Ian to chill out and talk to me because I'm a woman. If anything, I don't care if you find me attractive, unattractive, whatever you feel like you think I am, you don't treat me like I'm nothing. You feel me? But at that time, I was too scared to speak up to men. Um, I'm gonna give y'all my domestic violence story time too. Like, I've been through a lot with guys, so it's like I was too scared to speak up. You know what I'm saying, to him. But D would always check him, and that's what Ian didn't like. But anyway, I was feeling D vibe, and I started hanging out with D more. And me and D was younger than me too. Both of them was, but I think D was 19 at that time. I think he was either 19 or 18 at the time. So yeah, he was young, but I didn't know that until after the fact. Um, D, we're gonna get on that in a minute. But you guys, we already 25 minutes into this story. I don't know if I should keep going or just make part one and part two, but I'm gonna keep talking right now. So, guys, I ended up, that night, and then I started hanging out with D more. Me and D was hanging around a lot, like we would mess around a lot. Any chance we would get, I was at his house, he was at mine. We was at my friend V house. Like, we was everywhere. We was everywhere. And that went on until one day I looked up and I was like, my period's supposed to come on, and it hasn't came on yet. And I knew it was like a month late. So I was like, okay, I might be pregnant. So I didn't trip on it. A ended up popping back up in my life, and I saw A, and like, we talked about everything, and I knew that A wasn't ready for a relationship with me, probably. This is just the story of my life. Like, most guys, they don't want to be seen in public with me because I'm a big girl, and they feel like they're going to get judged or talked about or laughed at. I don't know. But most guys don't want to be seen in public with me because I'm a big girl, of course. I still get emotional about this, so we're going to keep going because I don't want to cry right now. So, moving on, A popped up back in my life, and I knew that he didn't want a relationship with me. I found out that later on he was in a relationship with another girl, and they was taking pictures together and all this, then the third. Like, I was like, okay. But I just wanted to test the D out. I just wanted to see what the D was hitting on. So I just told him to come spend the night with me. Come spend the weekend with me. I know you don't want to be in a relationship, but, I just want to have fun. So we did that. In the midst of all that, still didn't see a period. So the first time I took a pregnancy test, it said not pregnant. And I took it at my friend V house, and D and N they came and got me. My bad, y'all. They came and got me, and we went to V house, and I took a pregnancy test. It said not pregnant, but I honestly feel like it was, well, not feel like it was too early for me to be taking a pregnancy test because we had just did what we did like 2 weeks ago. But I knew what time my period was supposed to come on, and it didn't. So Ian didn't say anything, but D was like, I think D didn't believe me, and he was like, let me see the pregnancy test. And I showed him, and it said not pregnant or whatever. And I didn't hear from Ian anymore, but D would always hit me up, and D would talk to me. We would FaceTime, or we would talk on the phone with each other. And got upset because I told him that me and I liked the D and I wanted to hang out more with D. And basically got upset about that, which I don't understand why, because he didn't even like me. N was not attracted to me. I don't know. I think N was attracted to me because we did what we did. But at the same time, I don't know. Like he said, I'm not his type. Whatever. So, anyway, me and D would talk on the phone a lot. And he would always be like, well, did your period come on yet? Did your period come on yet? And I was like, no, nope. It hasn't. It hasn't. And I was like, you know what? Too much time has passed by, and I'm still saying that I didn't get my period. So I went and got another pregnancy test, and I took it. And once I learned how to do the whole, I just seen the bug. Once I learned how to do the whole inserting text and all that, I'ma insert the picture of the pregnancy test because I still have it. So I'm going to insert that. And it looked like, I couldn't tell because it was like a thin line. Like at first, this line was dark. But this line, it was light. I hate these beetle bugs. But this line was light, so it was like I couldn't really tell. It was really faint. So I sent the picture to D. And D and Ian and his brother, they had came up to my house and they saw it. And they was pointing fingers and, oh, it wasn't me. No, it was you. No. I was like, you know what? F both of y'all at this point. Because I know it was out of them too, because they were the last people that I slept with. And D was the only one that I was sleeping with often. So Ian just kept denying it to the fullest, but D was like, no, I'm telling you, I had a condom on. He was like, I had a condom on, but he was like, but it's my baby. I'll claim the baby. It's mine. But he was like, are you gonna get an abortion? Because I'm not ready for a baby yet. I don't want to have no kids right now. My mom is sick and this, that, and third. Like, I guess his mom was sick and his mama did have a caretaker, because when I went to his house, she was the caretaker or whatever. He was like, my mama in the hospital and my dad, his parents was old. And basically they was sick, whatever. He would always call me and tell me, I'm like, oh, okay. Not in a harsh way, but it's like, okay, I understand. Like, he wasn't the only one who had a sick parent, because my aunt is like my mom, and I'll get into a story time of that too. But my aunt is like my mom, and she was sick at the time too. So I didn't care about nothing he was talking about, because he really was trying to get me to get an abortion. He was like,